Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the J22 Report. I am your host, Johnnie Market. You all know that drill. Hit that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. And I am posting to Rumble now, so follow on there if you already haven't. So, anyway, obviously, disclaimer, read below. It's beneath all those hashtags. And let's get into today's stuff. Oh, I need to share my screen so I can see where I'm going. So, anyway, I'll also look at Kiko. If you look at, gold took a massive dump, silver took a massive dump, and if you look at it, what explains today's move? Let's go to Thursday. Look at the core PPI that came in negative. Jobless claims they were above expected, but if you look at it, this is very positive data. Interest rates, this gives Fed cover to cut because the inflation is now quote unquote coming down, and none of that else matters. And if you look at the stock market, it started out really poor, but finished out positive for the S&P, positive for the Nasdaq. We're in the AI bubble, and if you look at it, was actually really falling. Look at this is just the Dow and around noon, but I think there are dip buyers. So let's look at the S&P, which finished positive. Started up high, was a low reading, started selling off, but then came back up. So if you look at it, this is a very unless we start getting really poor negative economic data, this inflation, but jobs numbers were good, everything else doesn't matter. Anything gain only Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, nothing really game changing of tomorrow. New York Empire Manufacturing right here. That's not retail sales will be the first game changing. Doubt it'll come out poorly. That's why I say for the first couple of months, I think it will be okay. But I think towards quarter 4 or not even quarter 4, middle next year, October, November, there's going to be something, whether it's going to be inflation ticking up or poor economic data. And here's one of the reasons why. Look in today's thing, L. Arian, I don't know who that is. I don't really care. A December rate cut will be too late for many businesses and households. And let's see what this person has to have. Federal Reserve starting rate cuts in December will be too late for small businesses and low income households. Yeah, they don't get billions of dollars in government contracts, subsidies, special tax breaks. So yeah, and the low income, same sort of thing. So famed economist Mohammed El Arain, I don't really know who he is. Waiting too long to start cuts could come at the cost of expansion, while moving too quickly erase a lot of ground on cutting inflation. So yeah, where do we cut this? So at least this person says the lagged effects on Fed's hefty series of rate increases would be biting even more. Well, yeah, they would be. And the thing is, like, go to my yesterday's video, 4%. That's still going to be high considering all the debt levels. Already the cushions that small businesses, poor households have been eroded. Pandemic savings are gone. Delinquencies are rising fast. Well, if you follow this channel, maybe he follows this channel. Maybe that's how he knows. Because I've been covering those. 35% probability they're end up too late. Stop plot, yeah, whatever. So anyway, but let's get into two news. One realized we're in the death of America, and the other just put me in a good mood. I don't think it will happen, but cool if it did. So anyway, here's the U.S. Saudi Arabia petrodollar pact ends. So here it is. Joe Biden's failures bring the end of global governance. This is the Gateway Pundit. The press never covers that, but I do see. So Saudi Arabia and the petrodollar is a very big thing. I'm just gonna sum it up for you. I've written articles about it under my other names and whatnot, and what it is to secure oil. People don't understand it. They say it's to secure oil, so we'll never. We don't need them for oil. What it is to control the oil market. And what Saudi Arabia is really the swing producer. So if we want Saudi Arabia to increase production, they do. We want them to cut production, they do. And we want them to sell oil only in dollars and reinvest those profits in the US Treasuries. And in return, the House of Saud will stand. We provide military protection. It's why the Kuwait, the Persian Gulf, that's why it happened. So it's a swing producer. It's not to secure oil, so we'll never have any oil. That's not correct. Let's see. Leader of the BRICS alliance, Putin Jinping. Sorry if I mispronounced. Uh, announced that Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Argentina, Mexico, and other nations wanted to join the BRICS alliance. What? Let's see what this says. Saudi Arabia announced that was considering accepting the Chinese yuan instead of the dollar. Last week, Joe Biden allowed 50-year-old Petro agreement between U.S. and Saudi Arabia to expire. Here it is. The term petrodollar refers U.S. dollars role as the currency used for crude oil transactions on the world market. This arrangement has its roots in the 70s. When the United States and Saudi Arabia struck a deal shortly after the U.S. went off the gold standard, would have far-reaching consequences in the history. Petrodollar agreement formalized after the 73 oil crisis. There was another embargo, I believe, after that. I'm not sure exactly when, but here it says U.S. gained a stable source of oil and captive markets for its debt, while Saudi Arabia secured and oil being denominated in U.S. dollars. And so, yeah, that's all it is. And this it will hurt the Americans because a lot of countries they won't need the dollar anymore. They will be able to buy directly from something else. So it could be they can sell it in euros, they can sell it in Chinese yuan, gold, whatnot. They can do it in anything else. So this will hurt the dollar, but it's more over time. I don't think this is too immediate. So weaken the dollar was over time, but this is not one of those. Yeah, this in turn could result in higher inflation, higher interest rates, and weaker bond markets. It will, but it won't be tomorrow, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. They won't. If this could be happened right away, they wouldn't have allowed it during the elections. It would have been after. So now, good news. This is cool. I just found out about this. Trump talks tariffs and taxes, and let's go. Criticize U.S. aid to Ukraine. So yeah, he wants peace. That's good. Let's see. Floated the idea of reducing the income tax and replacing it with tariffs. Now, yeah, I've heard the whole thing. Tariffs are just a direct tax on foreign products. I think it's good. We'll be able to make stuff here. We'll be able to secure supplies here. Companies will have to move manufacturing back. Won't have supply chains. And as more and more countries, like with this petrodollar, we're going to have to make it here, even if it's more expensive, right? Like it or not, we're have it expensive than not have it. Number one, but number two, incomes and jobs. Jobs will go up, more incomes will go up, and if we have higher interest rates, property values go down, cost of living. So we won't even see the cost increases. So I don't really care what they say. This is a good thing. People have marketable, reputable jobs, and you need to make things in your own country. So and then the other thing, taxes on tips, where the cut taxes incomes from tips. The idea for appeal to service workers. It's good stuff. It's all good stuff. Yeah, are they gonna cut spending? I don't expect. So but I mean they're not going to, regardless. But at least I don't have to pay if the income tax. That would be pretty cool. Save a lot of money on that. But do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't think. Even if Trump gets elected, I'm not delusional. There's a whole process they have to go through with. So, but it would be cool, income tax and get rid of it and have tariffs. That would be awesome. So, anyway, that's all. Petrodollar, not good. That over time will erode American power, the American dollar influence, and it will, over time, help gold, but it's nothing immediate. And this will hurt American influence. So it's not good. I've talked about this for years. Now it's coming to fruition. I talked about the end of the petrodollar in 2013 or 14. And I was early, but I was right. So just like gold and the fall of the stock market, I was early, but I am right. And that's one thing is when gold crashed in 2013, just a confessional. I actually had a lot of doubt in my analysis and what I was reading. And it wasn't until 2019 when gold went back up to 1900. Someone, when I used to sell bullion, said, well, if gold got back up to 1600, I won't be impressed. And this was after the crash. And then I was like, what about if it went back up to 1900, 2000? And he's like, yeah, I'd be impressed. So, anyway, gold is at 2200 now or something. 23 had a down day. But yeah, I think it will get to 5 or 10,000 over time, not tomorrow. I think it'll this upswing, video yesterday 2,700 to 3,000, and then it'll crash again probably. So anyway, hit that like button, subscribe, and remember, all this is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. See you next video.